Okay, I think we're recording now.
All right.
So first question, when did you decide that you were going to pursue a career as an athletic director?
When I got into admin, I think early on in my educational career, so I've been in education 25 years. Early on, I had committed to wanting to be in a leadership position for athletics. I guess I've been in AD for 11 years, so this is probably about 13, 14 years ago.
Okay. What different schools have you been AD at?
Little Canyon.
That's it?
Yeah, I'm pretty consistent.
Yeah.
So I spent half my career, or more than half my career at Sunrise Mountain High School, and I was that's as a teacher, and as an AD, I've only been an AD at Willow Canyon.
Okay. What motivated you to decide you wanted to become an athletic director? I know you kind of touched on that a little bit.
Just athletics, understanding that in education, for me, when you look at, so I love being a teacher. I like being in the classroom. I like teaching. But I knew what motivated kids, and what motivates kids isn't writing an essay or math problems or learning about, for me, I taught anatomy and physiology. I don't care about the bones and muscles and how they all function. What truly motivated kids at school was everything that went on outside the classroom. ADs are the ones that lead all that. School culture, if you elevate culture on campus, grades will follow.
Absolutely.
And so I believe that to my core, and I've fought against, I say fight against, but when it's prioritized by a district that we have to prepare for this test, or the sole focus becomes instructional practices, which is extremely important, but at the cost of how to build a culture on a school campus. Athletics does that.
Yeah.
Athletics does that in spades. It creates a dynamic in schools that cannot be replicated in any other aspect in a classroom. So that's really the motivating factor. I believe in public education, and I believe that if you want a successful school, you have to work on culture.
Absolutely. Okay. What certifications or degree do you have, and what qualifications are required to be an athletic director?
You just need an admin degree, and so anything. My experiences has been in. I have a medical background, sports medicine. I spent, before I got into education, I spent my career in hockey. So I was in the minors, I was in the NHL, and I transitioned to education, and I fell in love with teaching. And so that's my athletic background, and that's, what pulled me into this.
Okay. So specifically your degree is like admin degree? Is it like leadership or management?
Yeah, I'm a professional student. So I had, my bachelor's was in sports medicine.
Okay.
Then I have a master's in health administration, just because I just went and got my master's.
Yeah.
And then I have a master's in educational leadership.
Okay. Awesome. See, I didn't even know you'd be one with just educational leadership like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What is the most rewarding aspect of being an athletic director?
For me, it's the relationships that you build with coaches and students and families. That's the biggest thing for me. I know it's always fun to win. It is. It's just, I enjoyed the winter season because all our programs were successful. I am enjoying the spring because every program is competitive, and we're in the top 15 in every state ranking. So that in itself, I am a competitive person. I want to just crush everybody, but that's not the end all be all for me. It's relationships. It's surrounding yourself. I love identifying and surrounding myself with a good team. So Coletti, Tizano, Byler, those are dudes, Clay Bewley, Shane Temez. These are people that care about kids and are competitive, and it makes your job as an AD so much easier because you just take the reins off them and let them go.
Yeah.
And for me, if we're going to be successful, you surround yourself with good coaches, you develop relationships with good coaches, and you support them and let them do their job. It's not complicated. The ADs that want to micromanage and want to inject it's good to have a vision, but hey, we're not going to, I heard an AD say, well, we don't allow anybody in our program to have the number 0 because that sends the wrong message. I'm like, you're going to die on that hill?
Yeah.
Like, is that important?
Yeah.
And so making sure that, coaches are making those decisions and then you're supporting them and, hey, what do you need to grow?
Yeah.
That's the most important aspect.
Okay. Let's see. What is the toughest aspect of being an athletic director?
When you get it down, early on,
Yeah.
it was dealing with parent issues.
Yeah.
For me. It was dealing with the relentless calls on complaints on coaches, and shielding your coaches from that and managing that in a way where you're de-escalating, but also that you're not acquiescing to every parent complaint. You cannot be a pushover in this position. You have to be a wall to protect your coaches, to allow them to do their job. And at the same time, holding coaches accountable to do their job. Guys that I call, this is probably not something you would type into your essay, but I call them stipend whores. So those are coaches that are coaching to supplement their teaching salary.
Absolutely.
And they are not doing what's right for kids.
Yeah.
They complain. They complain about the schedule. They complain about the work. I don't want coaches that are, you either want to build this program
invested,
or you don't,
yeah.
right? I don't care if it's tennis, golf, or beach volleyball.
Yeah.
Like, let's build this program and let's build kids and let's get kids want to be out there. So in the basketball program, we're at a place now where you can say no to families like, hey, this is reality. These are our top 5 and you're not in it.
Yeah.
Right? But we want to encourage you to come out and, you're going to get 100 kids trying out because they want to be a part of that program. My goal and my vision was to have that in every single program.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's a tough thing to do, to create. That's a cultural shift. That's a cultural change. So early on it was dealing with those conversations. Now I relish in that. I'm like, come on in, let's have a conversation so I can tell you what reality is.
Yeah.
And I can listen to you and give you your moment, let you vent. And I've gotten way better at that. It's not hard anymore. What's hard is shifting culture and getting a school to a place where coaches, students, families want to be a part of it. They're not throwing arrows, but they want to be, how do I get into that? Right, and I think we have it in pockets here. We don't have it as an entire campus. It's not systemic yet.
Absolutely. So, what is your favorite part of your job as an athletic director? You kind of touched a little bit on that, relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think the culminating aspect to this job is when you see a kid reach a goal, or you feel it in that program where things are clicking. Like, it was awesome to watch basketball this year, not just because you're winning, because that just elevates the entire campus, but to watch the dynamics and the dudes that were out there and the kids and the coaches. There was something special happening, and we're starting to see that in other programs. Donnie's created in softball. It's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
It looks different than other programs because everybody's all in, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a ton of complaints from parents about playing time because everybody knows their role and everybody's supportive for the greater good, and that is special to me. The other piece that I love doing is when we have like sign-in day.
Oh, yeah.
And you see everybody, and it's not just because that kid is signing to play at another level, but you see the story of everybody that was part of that path, like the whole team there taking a picture with the dude, or the
all
coaches,
the
families,
blood, sweat, and tears put in.
Everything. And you see the parents and they get teary-eyed because it's like, yeah, I mean, my kid has earned this.
Yeah.
And that's a cool thing. And as a parent, like, I look at that and go, yeah, I know how that feels.
Yeah.
Right? So as an AD, that's pretty special.
Absolutely. And then I have least favorite on there, but I know we kind of talked about like some of the stuff already about, you know, it could be tough with.
I mean, the least favorite is dealing with HR issues.
HR, absolutely.
You know, and I say something that sounds so stupid, but like, I'm gonna support everybody until I can't.
Yeah.
Right? And what I mean by that is like when a coach steps out of line and does something or says something or something happens that it's a behavior I can't defend.
Yeah.
They make it really hard for me. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Especially when I know the bigger picture of the human
yeah.
and like, you screwed up.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't get second chances in this world. So
yeah.
that's the suckiest part of the job.
Absolutely. And then last question, what advice or tips would you give to someone who's interested in pursuing a career as an athletic director?
Leadership training, as much dive into things like, you know, for John Wooden, or if you haven't read that book, read it. Be around good leaders and learn from the bad ones too.
Yeah.
And for me, it's been a constant evolution of personal growth in this job, because I learned when to shut my mouth, when I need to step in, and when I just need good leaders to just let them go and just let them go and do their job. And it's just a constant evolution of learning how to communicate and learning to lead. So those are the biggest things.
Absolutely.
So, cool.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it, man.